You are a Malaysian 370, 777 bound from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, leaving Kuala Lumpur at extreme early in the morning. On this plane, there are very important people. 20 people working for an American company based in Texas called Texas Superconductors, which work hand in hand with the US government. Also, we've got a very important person for IBM, Philip Wood, which works both in Kuala Lumpur and Beijing. There are also two persons which boarded the plane, but they had a stolen passport, which allegedly were suspected of hijacking the whole aircraft. This is the photo which shows the two alleged hijackers. This was debunked by mainstream media, as the lower part of their bodies are exactly the same, and this suggests that there was photoshopping. But why would the government do such a thing? Don't you think that this is the first mark in showing us that there is something fishy with the whole thing?
Now, what I'm trying to convey today is the fact that Flight 370 actually ended in Diego Garcia. Let's not look at any clues for the moment and just focus on the history of Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia is an island, an atoll, which had a sprawling population of about 2,000 people. But then the US government stormed the place and performed a depopulation in 1971, which all the individuals which were in Diego Garcia, about 1,200 of them, were exiled off from Diego Garcia onto other islands like Mauritius and some other close islands like Seychelles. They were moved out, and the only people that were left on the island were the military personnel, and the US government imported the military personnel inside the base, and now you can only find between 3,000 to 5,000 US troops and support staff on the island. But there are no people living as civilians on the island. There are civilians, okay, but they all work as support staff for the troops. Also, Diego Garcia has a very large airstrip on it, and it is one of the largest bases that can be found. It can accommodate the largest aircraft, the B-52 bomber, and KC-135s. It's all there. The runway and the parking spots are more than sufficient in accommodating the Malaysian 777. Another important thing about the airbase is that it has always been shrouded in mystery. It has been the hub, as I said, for bombings in countries further north. But many people do not know why this base is used and what role it plays in the strategical missions of the US military. The United States Air Force operates a station of the ground-based electro-optical deep space surveillance system on the southern end of the atoll. The Diego Garcia is also an ETOPS emergency landing site, which is an emergency landing site for aircraft like the Boeing 777. And it is also one of the 33 emergency landing sites worldwide for the NASA Space Shuttle. The airport in Diego Garcia has a 12,018 feet runway, with the ICAO code of Foxtrot Juliet Delta Golf. About 2 days after the crash, I went on Google Earth myself and I started scouring the area. Without any clues, I had ruled out that if had it not crashed in the sea and landed somewhere, it must be in Diego Garcia and nowhere else. The reasons for this is that military personnel, if told, they will not speak out the true word that the Malaysian aircraft has landed over there. It is also another plausible theory because there is more than enough space for the plane to land, and it is monitored by military personnel and not by civilian personnel, which would totally uncover and blow the cover of the location of the aircraft. What I am going to show you next is the next link for next link in this whole thing. In the movie right now, probably it's just darkness, but you're actually looking at an image which was claimed to have been taken by Philip Wood, that important person on the IBM flight. And he claimed to have taken this photo while being detained and kept by the US militants inside Diego Garcia. Philip Wood posted this photo from Diego Garcia with the following text attached. I have been held hostage by unknown military personnel after my flight was hijacked. I worked for IBM and I have managed to hide my cell phone in my ass during the hijack. I have been separated from the rest of the passengers and I am in a cell. My name is Philip Wood. I have been drugged and and I cannot think clearly. End of quote. This shows that if this Philip Wood is actually claiming the picture to be true, it would mean that he is actually in Diego Garcia, and this is also proven by the EXIF file which was attached with the photo. I have saved the photo myself on my own system and opened it up on my computer, and I found the GPS coordinates in the EXIF file of the image and where it was taken. It is around 3 miles away from Diego Garcia and where Google claims that Diego Garcia is. The coordinates show that the photo was sent in proximity to the island base. This Philip Wood claimed to have taken this photo via his iPhone 4 in his dark cell. As he said, he had posted this photo on 4chan. This photo was found on 4chan. And this is because he probably wanted to get as much reach as possible. The IBM engineer might have taken this photo, probably even a selfie, they are calling it, because when put through an image editor, they found that the photo contains some clues. Although completely black, it takes out some colors which make it interesting. I will show you that in just a moment. But this photo is shown in the EXIF data as to be taken via an iPhone 5 and with all the EXIF file information intact. And this also shows that with all the information intact, you cannot change EXIF information that easily without a trace. Even if you change some small EXIF information inside the file, the date of modification changes with when you change the EXIF information. In the photo, we see that this photo was taken on the 18th of March at 20:43 in the evening.
A freelance journalist, Jim Stone, claims to have taken this photo off 4chan and edited it to get out all the colors. This photo shows the photo after passed through a Retinex filter. Jim Stone claims that as Philip claimed to be blindfolded when he sent the message, the engineer was left hands-free, but with the blindfold. And he claims that this would have made it possible for him to pull it out his iPhone out of his butt and use the voice command ability of the phone to just talk to it and log in and post the message. This might explain why he sent a black photo, as he could not see what he was sending. He just knew he snapped a photo and sent whatever it got taken. This also shows that inside the message we have a word which could act as a keyword. We've got the word personal. Now, he said, "I have been held hostage by unknown military personnel after the flight was hijacked." However, here it shows that the phone picked the word personal, not personnel, which might show that in actual fact, yes, he was using voice activation. After using Retinex as a filter to filter out the colors in this image, Jim Stone also claims that the black spot in the middle, darker spot in the middle of the photo depicts Phillips Wood's covered head, which in his explanation he points out the fact that in photography, the camera experiences vignetting. Basically, the darker spot is outside, and then the lighter spot is inside. However, this photo has it reversed. The lighter spot is outside, and the darker spot is inside, which he thinks that the photo was taken depicting something darker in the middle, which could be his head in Jim Stone's opinion always.
If I had to put a personal note in in these claims of the blank image with the EXIF file, I am a bit skeptic about this. There are some possibilities and some questions which might be asked, like, did anyone see Philip Wood take out his phone? How did he get away with his phone being hidden away in his backside for 10 days? Did he have enough battery life? How did he get internet connectivity? There are these things which do contradict this, which make things a bit skeptic. However, if we put aside the blank image theory away, we can still find other clues which lead to the fact that Malaysian 370 actually ended at Diego Garcia.
As many of you following the story should have heard, is that the Captain Zahar Schach actually had a home flight simulator, which he used to fly around and also possibly train on using this system. Now, I happen to have the same flight simulator that Captain Zahar did, and I'm going to show you how how easily you could simulate landing at any airport that you want in the world. How easy it is to know information about the airport's radio systems, radio technology, and how easily you could simulate a flight down to the smallest nook and cranny and nut and bolt.
This is the same flight simulator, the flight that Zahar had. Here I have everything I could. I've got the Malaysian aircraft. I've got all the systems that I need inside the aircraft over here. And I have got all the radio frequencies set up, so it is very easy to simulate the flight as it is. And here also I am at the airport at Diego Garcia. So as you can see, I've got everything simulated. The runway length is the same, the taxi stands are the same, everything is identical, even the aircraft systems. And as you can assume, this is, even if it is a home system, it is very, very easy to use when it comes to training. So this is the aircraft flying over the base at Diego Garcia. So everything is life size, everything is made to measure as in real life, and everything is set to be, basically. You've got all the systems that you need to simulate an actual flight. In the flight simulator main menu, there's a tab called Pilot Records, and in here there is a tab called Logbook. And here I've got all the flights logged, all the flights that I ever did logged on here. I've got each and every flight that I've performed, from where and where to, the amount of landings, if it was day and night, instrumental usage, and I can also delete the entry and get details as well about the particular flight. It is one of the things that the investigators claim to have found on his system. They are claiming to have found this airport, Diego Garcia, as a common entry inside his flight simulator, where he used to perform landing circuits. This is some third-party software that I use for navigation myself, but this is also a very important information bank, because if I perform a mouse over, it gives me all the radio frequencies of the airport, and it is just the best way how to train yourself in landing and performing other and simulating the actual flight. And we've got all the information possible about the landing stands, the ILS, the automatic landing system, and everything which has to do with navigation and the actual airport at the place. If we zoom in, you can actually see a diagram of the airport, and everything is perfect and ready to roll. As concluding comments, I would like to state some information about the aircraft itself and the future of the disclosure of the alternate story. The 777 is a very, very safe aircraft. It has only been involved in 3 accidents, and they were pretty small. The aircraft is mounted with all the latest technology. As you know, planes do not just disappear. Some planes have disappeared throughout the years, maybe 2 or 3 records somewhere over the sea. However, it's not something which happens very commonly, especially with the technology that there is on the aircraft today. These other instances where the plane just vanishes off into thin air happened some time ago now, but this doesn't reflect what
we are capable of having today. We have got surveillance systems strewn all over the globe, from satellites to ground bases and ground radars, even the black box, which should be beaming the beams on where it is and the location. It isn't there. The ELT system, which had it crashed in the sea, should have activated by a huge impact, didn't activate. There are many things which make this a mystery. However, if it did not crash land somewhere in the sea, it has to be in Diego Garcia. Unless it's some kind of lie, we'll never know what happened to the flight. Another important thing that we have to consider is an alleged sighting of the aircraft traveling towards Diego Garcia. We have residents of Kuda Huvadu, which is an island to the south of the Maldives and to the north of Diego Garcia, spotting a low-flying aircraft at around 6:15 March 8, traveling north to southeast. The sightings match up perfectly with the last known contact at 1:21, giving it enough time for the aircraft to continue with the flight from the last known contact near the Malaysian peninsula down to Diego Garcia. Another very important detail which you have to note is the fact that there were the 20 very important people on board the flight working for the American company which makes superconductors. It is very striking, the fact that you've got Chinese personnel going to an American base and going to an American base which is very important for the war and for the turmoil that is going on between America and Iran, Afghanistan. It could be an interception for technology as well. So they could get these Chinese people to interrogate, to have them interrogated, so that they could speak up as what their technology is. However, this is another theory which has sprung up in this quest. However, it is all about the location. The theory, be it be it anything, the most important thing right now is where the aircraft is. As a concluding comment, I would say that if the aircraft is not at the bottom of the ocean, it has to be in Diego Garcia. Thanks for watching, and I hope you accept this with an open mind.